Okay, so I decided to watch The Rehearsal.
What's that?
Only the second season, not the first season. You ever heard of Nathan Fielder?
Yeah.
Naked Fielder?
Nathan Fielder.
That name sounds
Nathan, like the hot
familiar.
dogs.
Uh-huh.
Nathan Fielder, he's a comedian or whatever. He does like a lot of like kind of off-brand, awkward comedy. He's a very plain-looking white guy.
Oh yeah, I know him.
Yeah.
Very dry, very awkward.
Yeah.
It's
White
like
guy.
8 episodes. He did a whole thing where he wanted to like figure out what was going on with like pilots and the fact that the accidents and all that stuff that happens, like what causes the accidents
Yeah.
for airplanes, and where does it start with the pilots, and why is it that happens, where it seems like miscommunication and how they communicate in the cockpit seems to be if it was better, it could cause less accidents, right? And then he finds out that which I didn't know many of these things about.
Is it
pilots.
docuseries?
Kind of, yeah.
Okay.
It's on Max.
Okay.
So it's like it's supposed to be like comedic, but it's very, because it's such a very serious topic that it ends up
Especially
turning.
this week.
Yeah, it ends up turning. I mean, it's been for the past couple
Super
months.
relevant.
Everything that's been going on with the FAA and everything like that. I mean,
Right.
John Oliver's making things about it, but I didn't know a lot of stuff about pilots. So apparently, every time there's always no pilot is ever with the same pilot again. A co-pilot. They're
What?
always.
Oh.
They don't have like.
Buddy systems?
You don't have a
Yeah.
guy. So every time you show up to go on a plane,
new.
it's always somebody new that you've
What?
never
That's wild.
that you've never met before.
That's so silly.
Because teamwork's a thing. How do you have...
I thought it
Right,
was
you
like,
build
you
like
know,
communication,
cop
camaraderie,
buddy,
you
yeah,
know,
buddy
like,
cop.
That's my
So this
co-pilot.
series, everything you guys are, because the first thing when he said that, I was like, they don't have a guy. You don't got a
Right.
like you don't
At
have
least like a rotation.
they don't have a coworker. It's just like
check your
it's
facts,
genuinely
Nathan Fielder.
always a different person.
Yeah.
So what happens there is that you have the pilot and then the co-pilot, even though they both kind of have the same responsibility. One is
Yeah.
technically, the hierarchy of corporations and job places and things like that, where you have a manager. Like the power imbalance also will cause how you communicate differently, right? You communicate differently from your coworker who's on the same level as you versus your manager. Just inherently, psychologically, you're like,
right.
okay, maybe I won't say this because like, what if it pisses them off?
Yeah.
And then add the layer of that co-pilot still just met this person.
Right.
So a lot of times they actually don't be speaking to each other, or they feel like they aren't in a good position to correct them if they think they're doing something wrong, because they're not
Right.
sure if they can get in trouble. The person might take it wrong because they don't even know how that person is. So that is always a
Yeah.
thing. All the social things we think about,
Yeah.
they're dealing up and people who they're also take into consideration people who have problems socializing. Say if you're on the spectrum and things like that, right?
Yeah.
But you also can't be a pilot and be diagnosed with damn near anything,
Right.
right? So another thing that happens is a lot of pilots don't actually go get diagnosed
Yeah.
for anything in order to avoid having to fill out on the sheet every time they're about to fly.
That's the
If
same
they've
for
been-
police too. by the
Yeah.
way.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Oh, I didn't know that either.
Wow.
Excuse me?
A friend of mine said like I was like, I'm pretty sure you have ADHD, and they were like, I can't get diagnosed if I'm gonna try out for the police test, and I was like, that's crazy.
Maybe cut that part out, not to air out that person.
Well, it's
'Cause, like,
anonymous. I have many friends.
yeah,
so.
yeah.
So-
But like I feel like
That's
for a cop, you really need to be
That,
diagnosed.
yeah, but it's
Like,
true. It's something you
Yeah,
gotta
Mental
you need
health?
to know.
You got a gun.
Yeah.
Is that
How many times
Yeah.
you hear? Oh, I,
mean,
thought it was the
It's
taser.
a plane, so you're talking about
Oh, that too. Yeah,
Wild.
yeah.
right. We're talking
plane.
about like you're thinking about just that,
Yeah.
but like you have 140 people. Like all these things are going on in this scenario.
gosh.
So there have been things where a co-pilot hasn't spoken up, and it has led to an accident. So that guy, that Sully guy, the one who landed the thing in the plane.
Yeah, the movie.
He talks about him in the show, and like he reenacted. Nathan Fielder was very weird, so I can't even properly explain how he goes about telling these on the screen. But if you want to kind of just know more about it, and also like learn about how like people on the spectrum and other people kind of balance that thing, and where the glaring hole is in regards to the training processes, you will learn from there. But he used an example of that Sully guy where he just happened to not be like a really arrogant person. So when he landed that plane in the East River or whatever, when it was going down and he didn't know what was going on, he actually, which is not common, fully like was like, hey, do you have any suggestions? And the co-pilot generally was just like, no, I don't know what to do. And he's just like, he like breathed apparently for like 30 seconds and then just like figured it out on the fly. But like he still opened the communication so that the person, because he wasn't going to just, some people are like, I got this. Think about how many people you've been you've been around. Just their natural personality is always, I got this. And then it,
you know,
especially pilots, I hear they're especially arrogant.
Yeah.
So, I don't know if it's true.
The amount of hours that go behind it, right? So he's doing this whole thing, interviewing pilots, going through mad tests and trials and trying to actually talk to the government and trying to like, this comedian is going through all of this stuff on the back end to learn about the process of what's going on in the cockpit, learning mad information about them. And then in the background, we didn't know while he was filming this whole thing, he actually learned how to fly a plane.
What?
Wow.
And then found a way to get a Boeing and flew a plane with 100 and something actors that he'd been using throughout this whole process to be part of his skits and all that stuff.
What?
Who consented and basically signed it.
That's crazy.
And got on that plane that he flew. And then one of the guys he had as the co-pilot, because that he used him as the co-pilot because he could still create the power imbalance because that guy creates YouTube videos and wants to be an entertainer. So he was able to still create that same power imbalance so that, because people thought it wouldn't be as the scientific method of it would be invalid because the guy would be like, well, he's not really a pilot. So he's going to think he's a better pilot than you, even though he's the co-pilot. Yeah. But the power imbalance is still there because he looks up to him because he wants to be a creator too. So like it kind of shifts back.
Right. Interesting.
And then that doesn't happen till the last episode, right? And then when you watch during the thing, because it's documented, right? They even had another plane flying next to the plane, so they recorded. And the co-pilot guy, who's actually a pilot, was freaking out. He was like, "That plane's pretty close." And it was right before takeoff where he finally said, "Say it just like this." Huh? I guess I never thought about it, but like, you're kind of like an actor doing this.
That's crazy.
Oh my god.
Yo, is anyone feeling tension here?
Yes.
He's like,
the scariest.
And then just goes like this. And the comedian's like, hey man, if anything you want to, like, you know, if you just let me know. But because that whole like
dynamic.
not talk that power dynamic, he's like, no, everything's good. Everything's good.
Yeah.
Wow.
Everything's good. He's like, hey man, just let me know. He's like, yeah.
He's not as if he's not having an internal crisis.
Never.
Right.
So,
oh my god, my life is in this man's hands.
It's totally recommended. I'm not probably doing the best job explaining it.
Yeah.
Oh, you did pretty
No,
good.
that was
You
good.
had
Okay,
it. Bro, I was locked in.
I was like, what?
Oh my god.
It opened my eyes. Like, I've already been somebody who we had the conversation about humans. I think we always are playing ourselves when it comes to planes, boats, right?
I agree.
We know why we hate boats.
This guy definitely.
We know why we hate boats, right? And then the whole plane thing is like, we shouldn't be. We do it. It's great technological advances that's helped us a lot. But we playing ourselves.
You always say, well, I don't know why we flying.
I don't know why we fly.
I mean, I'm happy we can, but I'm also like,
Some people do that on the
I'm
weekly.
like, this is a miracle every time they land. Like, it's a miracle.
Now I would stop making fun of people who clap.
Yeah.
Clap, yo. Clap it up. Like, clap
We
it up.
made it.
We
For
made it, yo.
that one, I
Clap,
would.
clap it up.
Right.
And one more thing I watched.
Corey.
What?
Talk about story time. Oh
Yeah.
my god.
I didn't think it was. I thought it was going to just keep it light too.
Nah, it was not light, bro.
Not at all.
Well, now I'll keep it light. I watched Camp Rock 2.
Yeah.
That's fun.
Finally watched Camp Rock 2, yo.
That's cute.
It is so much better than the first one. Like
telling
light
you.
years.
Yeah.
I've never watched Camp Rock
I haven't seen any of them.
ever.
Oh, you
I actually
never
watched
either?
High School Musical for the first time like 2 years ago.
Wow.
Yeah.
How was that?
Just the first
It was fun. I think, did I watch the second one? I don't think I watched the second one yet.
Okay.
It's on my list though.
Second and third, highly
Yeah.
recommend.
But I watched the
They
first
all
one.
hold up.
It was fun. It was really fun.
What happened was like 2 weeks ago, I went through like a random Disney Channel original binge. So like I watched Camp Rock, and then I watched Johnny Tsunami. Then I watched Gotta Kick It Up.
Yeah.
And I came back and talked about it with them, and she was like, you gotta watch 2. And I was like, I don't know, because 1 was like super cringe,
Yeah.
right? And like I'm at a weird age where Camp Rock came out just a little bit too
After,
late
yeah.
after
That
like,
was me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But Camp Rock 2?
Okay.
First of all, I'm Camp Star all day.
Camp Rock.
Camp Star all day, bro. I would never go to Camp Rock, bro. Camp Star is so much better. Now, is it as fun? Are you going to have great memories with your friends? No, you won't get that at Camp Star. But what you will get is a really, really good resume and career, so
Okay.
that you have those years of experience that they be asking for by the time you turn
Corey's
18.
bougie, so of course he'd go to like the pristine music camp.
Bro, he was offering it for a discount. He stole it. He told everybody he told all the workers he would double their pay on the spot.
Okay, I'm
right?
in.
Because they had in the beginning of the movie they opened up. He was like, "Oh, the camp across the lake is doing their own show or whatever." So everybody from Camp Rock goes there, and there's mad other people there, and then you just see Camp Star cooking. Got the black leather jackets going crazy, right? End of the show. Then the guy who running the camp is ex bandmates with the guy who's running Camp Rock, and he's like, "Oh, y'all like that? So." We're a little understaffed. So if any of the workers from Camp Rock would like to work here, I'll double your pay. Every adult, respectfully, I would have done the same thing. Got up. Every single adult, double the pay.
Double the
Yeah,
I feel like he just Suge Knighted it. Like, oh, you don't want people dancing? Come to death row.
So he offered them double pay, and then he straight up said, like, "Hey, kids too. Like, if we got extra bunk, so like y'all could come through if y'all want. So free ride." That ain't bougie, bro. That's the better program completely. All they doing is, bro. They was doing real choreo. They had light shows. They was Camp Star light years better. Demi Lovato's acting was so much better in this. The plot was so much better. They utilized the Jonas Brothers everything about Camp Rock 2
was much better.
But the fact that I'm even glazing it is wicked. I'm over here like, no, this was actually a pretty solid Disney Channel original movie.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
I haven't seen it in years. I should.
It's good. It's good. Shockingly, I will say, I'd recommend it.
Scale of 1 to 10.
Great.
7.
Okay. Solid
7. Solid 7.
You should watch Brink.
Brink
Girl,
is
I
good.
watched
like
Brink months ago.
Did you?
Yeah, I spoke about it.
You never told me?
I spoke about it.
I don't
Yeah.
remember. Did he talk about
I don't
that?
remember.
I don't think he did.
You just, girl, don't. There's one thing we
Danny
can't.
said he doesn't remember either. It's not just me.
Oh, that's your.
Yeah.
He's like, Danny said he doesn't remember, so it
Because
didn't
if
happen.
I don't remember, then that's one thing. But if Danny doesn't remember too, then that counts.
Well,